Welcome to GripeCast with your host, Alex Hernandez. This show is dedicated to consumer technology news and pop culture. GripeCast is owned by Techaris. Visit Techaris.com for the latest tech reviews, news, entertainment, and pop culture. Now sit tight, the show's about to begin. All right, welcome back to the least listened to podcast on the internet. This is GripeCast, episode 35, where we will dive deep into the underbelly of the digital age and related topics. A little hyperbolic, but let's roll with it. So welcome, guys. This is episode 35. I'm recording this Sunday, October 6th in the evening. Got a long week this week, so recording my podcast a little early, getting it edited up and posted tomorrow, Monday, October 7th. You will be hearing this, though I recorded it a previous day. So, that's how I'm doing it this week, because I will be off to an Intel event this week. I'll be leaving Wednesday, so you'll be seeing less content from me for a few days, as I do a lot of traveling. Always fun to do that, and that's sarcasm because I don't really like traveling, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So today we are going to tackle a topic that's been out there. It's prevalent right now in the social media world, especially on X. I'm going to call out X because that's where I spend a lot of time, and this topic has been coming up a lot lately, at least in my feed. I don't know about your feed, but in my feed it's been coming up a lot. And that is grifting, specifically social media grifting. There's all sorts of grifting types. So, and we could go on for hours talking about grifting in general and kind of describe everything. But for this purposes of today's show, it's social media grifting, and it's something that we're going to get into today on today's show, and hopefully it'll be informative for you, and hopefully you'll be able to engage with me on social media, on any of the platforms that I'm on. Make sure that you comment and let me know what you think of this topic in general. So also, I'm going to make it clear that I'm not here to call names out. I'm not going to be naming names and kicking in doors. That's not my style. All I am going to do is call out the behavior that I keep on witnessing and seeing in my feed anyway. And it's gotten to a point where I've had to mute a lot of accounts and kind of restructure my own X feed. Because it's just a lot of nonsense that just really exhausts me. So I've had to adjust my feed for my personal preferences here. So again, I'm not going to name names. If I know there's probably going to be a few people listening to this podcast or watching it that agree with me, and if they want to name names and share this podcast, then that's on them. If they like to do that, great. That I can't stop them from doing that. But yeah, make sure you share the podcast. That's what I'm getting at. Anyway, let's get into this. One note before I jump into my own notes. I have notes today. I got to say, normally I shoot from the hip, but today I've got a couple things I wrote down that I'm going to try to articulate. So, but I wanted, for those watching on Rumble or on YouTube, you are seeing a video here that is kind of psychedelic. I don't have anything to show on screen today, so I decided just to play a video in the background, so you don't have to see the whole screen with just my face. So this kind of cool. It's called Healing Journey. from a YouTube channel called Surrealism. So if you guys, I'll link them down below. You guys want to check out their video, you can. I think it has music to it too, but we're not playing that. Okay. All right. So, I mean, social media. Let's talk about social media for just a second. It's revolutionized how we connect, right? It's revolutionized how we connect, how we share, and how we consume content. It's done this for the past 10 years or more. But really, in my opinion, it's really transformed how we communicate and how we interact just since COVID. Since 2020, things changed on how social media was used. And, prior to 2020, I think social media was used primarily by those of us like me who have a website tech business, and I write articles, I write reviews, and we use social media to spread our content out so that other people could share it and read it, and you would probably go to, prior to 2020, most people would go to Twitter or to Facebook, and they would find links to websites, and they would click on those links and read the articles and be on their way. They might discuss a little bit here and there, but it wasn't the users so much on social media that were creating content. It was content creators that were creating the content and then sharing it, and then those people resharing your content. But over the years, since 2020, we've seen more people creating their own content or attempting to create their own content on social media. And people have been, instead of clicking links like mine, now they just read other people's timelines, and that's the content they consume. And a lot of these content creators, they like to call themselves content creators. I don't consider them content creators, especially if they're not actually creating content. If all they're doing is spreading an opinion or taking other people's content and taking a screenshot and sharing that. Like, a lot of times I see articles shared with just a screenshot. They don't even link to the article. They just screenshot the headline, and then people comment on that. So they're essentially using someone else's content to feed in their engagement and their impressions. So like I said, I'm going to get back to my notes here because I'm going to go off track. I know I'm going to go off track on this podcast. I can't help but go freestyle once in a while. But anyway, but with this freedom comes the darker side, and that's grifters. Grifters are individuals that exploit platforms, okay? They exploit platforms for personal gain, and it's often done to unsuspecting users. So users are mostly unaware that they're being grifted. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at what social media grifting looks like and the dangers of social media grifting. And hopefully we can give you a few tips on how you can be aware and protect yourself and how to tackle that situation. Because a lot of times you can get into that the groupthink. The grifters in social media will pull you into groupthink, and they'll find a hook that will bring you in, or that will bring you into their camp, and then they will continue to feed that hook because it's something that you care about. So, but we'll get more into that in a minute. Grifting isn't new, but social media has given it new life. And here's how it typically works, okay? I broke this down into four different types of, we'll call them grifting, but let's call them 4 points. Here are my 4 points and how it typically works. And this isn't scientific by any means, so please be aware. This is just my opinion and just some ideas that I had, and I wanted to get them out, and I thought this would make a great podcast. So here's how grifting typically works. Engagement for gain. Grifters might engage with content creators or businesses for freebies or services, offering exposure in return which might not lead to actual benefits. So a lot of times you have somebody that's on social media and may have a couple thousand followers, and they'll go and they'll tell someone, hey, I will amplify your post because I have 10,000 followers. You pay me and I will amplify your post, and that means you'll get some exposure. But a lot of times that never comes to fruition. They take the money and they don't actually either don't amplify the post, or they don't have the followers that they're claiming that they have, and they don't have the reach that they claim that they have. That does happen also with websites, and I've talked about ComScore with websites. So even major websites like The Verge and Gadget and other websites like that. Well, I shouldn't call. See, I said I wasn't going to call any names out because let me walk that back, because I don't want to accuse anybody. So I'm not going to accuse. Sorry, Verge. Sorry, Gadget. I'm just giving examples of websites, major websites that use ComScore, which is a service that boosts impressions, basically, artificially. So that is what engagement for gain is. So my next point is scams. From fake giveaways to investment schemes, grifters promise returns or rewards that never materialize. So you see this a lot on X too. I will teach you how to. I'll teach you how to. Get more followers. I'll teach you how to have more engagement. I'll teach you how to have more impressions. And then there's some way they charge you, or there's some way that you have to give back to them, and then you actually never actually see a return. Or if you see anything, it's very, very minimal. Or if you see anything, it's by sheer luck. So, third point is influencer fraud. They might buy followers or engage in bot activities to appear more influential, then sell this influence to brands or use it to push products or agendas. That's huge right now on X. And I don't know if Elon is aware of this or not. I don't think he is. If he is, he's just totally ignoring it, and he's just not paying attention. I have no idea. But I know that there are a lot of services out there that you can buy bot traffic from. I know that because I've been pitched these services before for my own website. And Google does not look kindly on you using bots for traffic. So that is a no-no in Google's world. Now on X, I don't know that that's a no-no. So a lot of these X-influencers will purchase bot traffic. And what that does is that boosts their impressions and that boosts their engagement on their posts, and it makes it look like they have a larger audience than they do, and that brings more people in, and then they grow their audience that way. So they may have 100,000 followers, but maybe only 10,000 of them are real. The rest of them are bots, and then they grow it to 200,000. So now they have, let's say, they bought more bots and they have like 50,000 followers now. So they are growing their account, but they're growing it in a way that's not natural and it's not honest. So that's influencer fraud. Finally, the one I really wanted to touch on, and this is the longest point, is political and emotional grifting. This one, it's not new either, but it has grown by leaps and bounds over the past few years. Now that X, formerly Twitter, has been monetized and the political landscape is volatile, I mean, it's nasty out there, a new breed of grifter has been unleashed on us here. And it's not just X, it's other places too. But since I'm picking on X, it's because that's where I post the most. So this type of grifter preys on the political views and ideologies of people on social media. And they often feed their bias with content that triggers an emotional response. And more often than not, that content doesn't even have to be factual or verified. I've been seeing this on X a lot lately, from posting unverified and unvetted political rumors to uploading and sharing inaccurate information on wars and major weather events. These grifters know that more impressions and engagement they can get, the more money they can make. So to them, it's by any means necessary to make a buck. Most of the time, these grifters don't even share their audience's sentiments or views or values. They only manipulate them for financial gain. So there are a lot of accounts on X that are sharing just things that are unfactual, untrue, unproven, and they hide behind this new terminology that Elon Musk himself has come up with. And again, let me stop for just a second and just clarify something. I'm not on an Elon Musk bashing thing here. I like Elon, okay? I like Elon until Elon does things I don't like, okay? And that is a difference between me and a lot of people on X who seem to think that Elon can do no wrong. Like he is the savior of the world. He's the savior of everything. He's not, okay? He makes mistakes. He makes stupid decisions. Is he a smart guy? Yes, he's a smart guy. But smart people can be stupid. It's just what it is. And so I don't agree with everything he does. There's things I hate the Cybertruck. I've said that hundreds of times. I hate it. I get a lot of crap for that because people, for some reason, like the Cybertruck, and that's fine. It's your right to like the Cybertruck, but it's my right not to like the Cybertruck. I like the Model S. The Model S is cool. I do that. I don't like Neuralink. Okay, I don't like Neuralink. I don't like. Is it going to Is there a possibility that Neuralink is going to do good things? Yes. But I also see the possibility of Neuralink being a bad thing. And that scares me. So I don't like Neuralink. But I do like SpaceX. I mean, I like Mars. Going to Mars is a great thing. So this is not an Elon bashing moment or podcast for me, okay? So let's make that clear here. I just happen to not be a fanboy of anybody. If I don't agree with someone, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. It just means I don't agree with them with everything, and that's okay. But in today's climate, it seems like you have to agree with everything someone says, otherwise you're against them. And I don't buy into that. Sorry. So back to this. Political and emotional grifting is what is happening. And what I'm seeing is a lot of these grifters, they're latching on to the MAGA movement, and they're using this as a way to push impressions and engagement on X and gain followers. And they're posting, sometimes they just post nonsense that is ridiculous, that they do not create content whatsoever. They reshare either legitimate news stories or conspiracy news stories. So there's no content creation happening here. It's just accounts that are manipulating the political and emotional content of the X social media world. And another clarification, not everybody, I'm not calling out like every account on X. There's just certain accounts that do this. And they've been growing. So, and it becomes annoying. So, all right, let's get back into this. The dangers of falling for a grifter. Why is this a big deal? So, I mean, falling for a grifter and falling for their act can lead to financial loss, either directly through scams or indirectly by investing in fake opportunities. There's I know a set of accounts that push a certain I guess I don't know what to call it. It's like a course. There you go. It's a course. They push this course that supposedly is going to show you how to grow your X account. And there's one account that created this, and all sorts of other bigger accounts that have supported it, and they push it. And to me, a lot of the stuff I haven't bought it, but I've seen some of the content within it, and through other people, And most of it is common sense, or most of it is already known. So there's really, to me, that's a fake opportunity. And that's how they're making money. And they prey on the people that want so badly to grow their X account that they will pay for that information, even though it's information that's going to lead them really in circles. It might help them a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe you bought it and it did help you, but I don't see it that way. Another reason why this is a big deal: emotional manipulation. Grifters often play on emotions, leading to trust issues and emotional distress. So that's what I see a lot, especially right now lately with the hurricane, Helena. There's been a lot of posts on X sharing information. One in particular got me was someone shared a video of a horse stranded on a barn rooftop, and it was flooded around, and there was a helicopter coming over. They're trying to rescue the horse, and they played it off as if it happened in Asheville in North Carolina. And when in reality the video was from Brazil from earlier this year. So this is what I'm talking about, emotional manipulation. They use these things to paint a narrative and paint a picture that tugs on your emotional heartstrings. Like, I mean, who doesn't want the horse to be saved, right? So they put that stuff out there knowing that it's false, claiming that it's from Georgia or from North Carolina when it's not. And they're making money on it. So they are emotionally manipulating people. Another reason why this is a big deal is privacy invasion. Engaging with grifters might expose your personal information or lead to phishing attacks. Reputation damage. If you're involved in grifting schemes, your credibility can be tarnished. So those are just 4 simple reasons, and there's a lot more you can get into. All right, so what do you do? I mean, precautions and how to spot grifters. I already went over most of how you can spot them, but you can check the background, look for inconsistencies in the account history of the person you want to follow, that you feel like, hey, this person looks interesting, might want to follow them. Well, look through their account history. Look for sudden spikes in followers. Look for strange content being posted. Don't just go off the one post that caught your eye. Don't just go off of that one comment that they make that agrees with your narrative, because that's how they hook you. So you need to look into their background, look into the account, and see what else have they posted, and go back as far as you want, and you'll eventually run into something that you might not like. So engagement patterns. Real accounts engage naturally. Grifters might have high engagement but low actual interaction or impact. So a lot of times grifters they'll post something and they'll interact with the first 1 or 2 posts, and a lot of times the first 1 or 2 replies that they get are either alt accounts that they own, their alts, or friends of theirs that are in the same circles. And so they reply to each other, and then they get the engagement going, and then they just leave the thread and let other people just engage, and that post is making money for them. So you just got to look for that. Are they engaging with the audience? So, and to be fair, I don't have a huge account on X, but my website, before my Google challenges this year, I had millions of views, millions and millions of views, and I interact with a lot of people, and it is hard you can't get back to everybody, and I understand that, but there are patterns that you can look at and see, and just look at who's responding to that account first, and then see if they interact with those people, and then if that all kind of drops off, if they stop engaging and they're only engaging with certain accounts, then they're probably grifting. Another way to spot this is promises too good to be true. So if an offer sounds too lucrative, it probably isn't legitimate. So again, we go back to I can help you grow your X account. I can help you grow your Twitter account or your Instagram account. I can help you grow your Facebook account. I get a lot of emails for that, and every one of them goes in the trash because it's just all grifting scams. Lack of transparency. If they're vague about how they make money or what they do, you got to be cautious. Be careful of people. How are they? I mean, obviously, you know that they're making money through X with impressions. So, the way I'm monetized on X, but I think I've made a total of like $45 this year with X. It's not very lucrative for me. I try to engage, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of want for tech type content. If more people would engage with my posts, I would engage, but they don't. People are looking for political content, and that's why this grifting is working for these people. And I could very well jump on the grifting bandwagon and start posting political content all the time, and people would respond. But it's not me, and it's not. I follow stuff on X, but I don't have much of an interest in engaging in political content. I talk politics with people locally here, and I engage with people here in real life about politics, not normally online. I mean, I have commented on stuff, and I have reshared, and I've shared stuff, and I've especially since Trump was shot at the first time, that really got me going. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. I mean, I don't care what political party you're from. You don't try to shoot someone like that. It's just ridiculous. So it really got me going, and this is where I started because of that is where I started discovering these grifting accounts. More of this stuff coming up because people were so emotional about this, including me, and admittedly I fell for one grifting account and I subscribed to it. I gotta say I paid the 1 month, and that account right there. After I looked into it, because I did not do any of this, what I'm telling you, what you should do, I just jumped right in. I subscribed to that account, and they got my $8, and then I started looking into it and looking and following all the stuff that they were following, all the accounts they were following, and I saw the pattern, and I'm like, oh, this is not legit. This is a grifter, and I got caught up in it. So I don't follow that account anymore, and I canceled my subscription like a couple days after I did it. But so yeah, everybody's susceptible to this. You got to be really careful right now, and that's why I'm making this podcast. All right, where did I leave off? A lack of transparency. If they're vague, okay, we did that already. Oh yeah, well I was gonna say I don't make money on X. The way we make money, the way I make money on my business is through advertising on my website, which is not doing very well right now because Google traffic has been pretty rough, and we license our content. So those are the two ways I make money. Oh, also affiliate links. I'm sorry, but we're clear on that. I'm clear on that on my website. We use affiliate links, that's very clear. We make that clear because Google again is very strict on that. If you're not clear on how you monetize your site, then they don't look kindly on that. So we're clear on that. Again, here's the last point on this. Look at who they follow and subscribe to. And I mentioned this already, but most of the time these accounts are all part of an inner circle in which they plan their grifting together. See who they follow, look at those accounts, posts and the patterns. If they match and are posting similar or identical content, they're probably grifters. So, signs an account is grifting, over-promising. If they're promising unrealistic gains or outcomes like, I want to follow you because XXX, or overnight success, accounts that suddenly have massive followers without a clear path to that growth. I mean, I've seen accounts that started, let's say, in July and they have 800,000 followers. It's like, that's unnatural. Monetization pressure, constantly pushing followers to buy into schemes or products. Unoriginal content, copying trends or content without adding value. That's the big one. Unoriginal content, copying trends or content without adding value. That a lot of these grifters, that's all they do is they copy paste. They share the same thing over and over and over and over again, or they do one line engagement farming. That is just, it's bull. It's crap. It's unoriginal, and it's just designed to hook you in to answer that question. Or you get the ones where they post a puzzle or a math problem and they say, answer this. And people get so excited because they know the answer, they start answering. And so that's how they get the engagement going. But it's unoriginal content, All right. Well, social media grifting is a reminder to always engage with a critical eye. The digital world is vast, and while there's much good, there's also deceit. Stay vigilant, question the too good to be true, and remember, real connections and opportunities come from genuine interaction, not manipulation. And I will give this to the grifters, is that manipulation does often, especially when the platform rewards it, manipulation does bring its own rewards. But I think in the end, those rewards are baseless. They're empty. So I appreciate my audience. I know my audience is small. That's why I call this the least listened to podcast on the internet. And I say that you guys are very special and very privileged to be amongst the few that are listening to me talk about the things that I talk about. You're amongst the few that are watching my unboxing videos. You are not bots. You are real people, just like I'm a real person. And that's why I appreciate my audience a lot. And I have for years and years. And I will continue to appreciate you. I can't thank you enough, and there's no way I can pay you back for listening and for engaging with my content and for supporting me. All I can say is thank you, and just be genuine in that. And that is what the difference is between genuine content creators and grifters. So, all right, guys, it is actually late Sunday. Just about hit 9 o'clock p.m. here in southern Missouri. And I got to say, I love southern Missouri. I'm a Chicago boy. Come out of Chicago. And I love my city of Chicago. And I miss the pizza. And I miss the Italian beefs. And I miss the lights. But I really love southern Missouri. I love living down in the country area. I love living out here amongst the stars. And I love raising my kids down here. So I just want to say thanks again. Please know that you are appreciated, and I really do think about my audience, and I want to make sure that I'm doing you right. And I'll make mistakes. Don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes. Heck, I was telling my son the other day, I'm your dad and I love you. But I make mistakes. I'm a human man, and I'm sorry if I make mistakes. I'll try to fix those if I can. So, hey, thanks for tuning in to GripeCast, the least listened to podcast on the internet. Remember that knowledge is your best defense in this grifting world you're in currently. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, or better yet, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought and what you think of grifting. Your engagement with me on platforms, it does show the algorithm gods that I'm doing something that matters. So I appreciate it, especially if it's honest traffic and not bot traffic. They do see that. So you are being counted, so know that. So all your likes and your shares and your subscriptions, it helps me to dive into topics and dive into get more product, working with brands and doing all that kind of stuff. All those things really help me. So I appreciate it. Please make sure you do that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, share with a family. Just get the word out, because you guys are the organic reach that I need. So it all helps. But please remember to take care of each other. Be kind to each other. Say a kind word to someone today. And we will talk to you on the other side.